Hello everyone, it's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obi Ajilu Olabisi Ubu, and with me are the ladies. Excellent morning. Topman, Mark Odige.
Rocking hair by BC.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that, darling.
Yes. I'm good. I went to Ekpe yesterday, and of course, the good, the bad, but I'm grateful to God. So when we were going, I checked weather forecast, and I saw that there was 15% chance of rain, and it was really cloudy, like it drizzled a bit in the morning. I said, God, please, I don't want rain to catch me on site. My car will be stuck on a particular road. Let me just go to the side and come back. That's how the sun came out.
Aww.
I went to the site, came back. As I was on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, see the rain that fell. We could not even see. We had to pull up a bit. And as we entered Lagos, the rain stopped. I said, God, you are too good. In the midst of all the things I cannot control, you have helped me to control the one that is biggest out of all of them. So we're able to go to the site, do what we wanted to do. And then I noticed that the Dangote construction concrete road going on within the Ekpe area too is going on. They've passed the front of our estate. I say, Father, thank you. And I'm just shouting out, not because everything is perfect as I would like it to be, but I am picking on every good thing that I am seeing right now to focus my attention on only the good things and ignore the bad ones.
Positive.
Yes. And then today is Islamiyat convocation. Congratulations, Islamiyat. Lasu convocation is today. Congratulations.
Nima, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. Let me just say congratulations to the LASU convocation graduates.
As a proud...
I got too many invites. Tomorrow I have an invitation to a distinguished professor's lecture at LASU. So congratulations to Imam Sani, the chief imam of LASU, who is having that lecture tomorrow. I thought I was going to make it, hoping I can still squeeze myself and make it. I'm just grateful for relationships. So I have this girlfriend who helped me get my new office space, who's, she's just there in my life like that, helping me. And she's been asking me every day, Nima, when are you coming to the office so we'll get lunch? And I'll be like, don't worry, because I should be the one getting lunch. And I'm the one who is grateful for, the space, because my office space is now a natural escape for me. So I usually don't feel at home when I'm out of my house. So the only place I can feel at home is at home. Office. So now I have an office where I can actually feel at home. When you're at home in a place, you can nap for 10 minutes. So yes, I feel so at home in my office. When I get in there, it's not a struggle to quickly leave. My old office, as I'm entering, just to mark present. I only go there to meet with clients, but I can sit in my office a full day and I'll be fine.
You're good. Yeah. I'm just noticing your glasses. Two-tone tints.
Yes.
These
glasses that will be
beautiful.
It's 3-in-1. Glasses dents my account. So whether or not
I can
the
tell.
doctors say I have a good eyesight. They just gave me so that the heat I'm suffering. But they now decided to beep it up. The cost of it.
He's looking it, darling. Please rock it.
I go wear
Rock it. Ramatu.
Yeah.
How are you doing today,
I'm
darling?
doing very well. So we're looking forward to the kids. They're coming back on Friday for the midterms.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Now we have 2 meets.
Hey, I told you that. You people don't come.
They'll give us meets now.
Very expensive. Very, very expensive.
No, but you guys are capable.
You got it.
The cow is $1 million.
You people are entrepreneurs here. You got it.
No, I'm living on
into
somebody's
production,
salary.
safe. It's not just selling into production. You people have covered. It's when are we getting our meat?
Very soon. Don't worry. Let's just hope that the price of the ram will go down. And then my elder brother's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Lawal Bashir Shehu.
Happy birthday.
Good health. Love to you.
We are sending you love and good wishes.
Yes.
The June babies. Yeah. So I have a lot. I'm doing some last-minute preparation for something, and I didn't know I was going to do it now, but I changed my mind and decided to go ahead with it, because once you have the opportunity to do it, you never can tell what tomorrow will bring. So it's going to be a lot of work in a couple of weeks, but I'm capable. I don't.
Affirmation, we are ready.
I'm ready. Like I'm ready, you know. But let's take a short break. When we come back, we do the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. So we'll be starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline, Edun to present new wage template. Strike, House of Reps attacks Labour. Grid shutdown criminal. 1 million CNG buses will cut 50 million litre petrol use by 20%. Government to save $4.4 billion yearly. Wando's 104.1 billion profits rallies investors. NAMA seeks retention of more revenue for operators. What stories do we have in The Nation?
So I have the 4.4 billion CV. According to the coordinator, regulations and compliance and facilitation, the presidential initiative on compressed natural gas, Zion Tambari is an engineer. He says that there will be a save of 12 million a day if the CNG conversion takes off. Compressed natural gas users are covered in Nigeria by converting our vehicles and other machines who rely on petrol to gas. That will be saving 12 million daily and the 4.4 billion projection annually from that save. So the federal government is looking at what they will be saving by reducing about 50 million liters of petrol consumed in 24 hours. And they had laudable things to say about it. He was speaking at to participate at the co-creation session on Nigeria gas vehicle monitoring system in Abuja yesterday, and he said that the government needed $890 million investment to establish alternative fuel infrastructure. So, at the moment they say that, that they have not do it. They need the $890 million to investment in it. So the Minister for State for Petrol and Petroleum Resources and Gas, Ekperi was also talking about it. He confirmed the commitment of the government to it. He was represented by one Abel Ansah, who talked about how important it was. He said that the point where they need to begin to talk about safety issues in the use of the CNG, and they have to educate themselves. He said this will, of course, increase employment. He said he compared it to the emergence of cell phone under President Obasanjo, former President Obasanjo, from an economic point of view. Of course, it will create employment. Also, the program director for the Presidential Initiative on Gas, Chief Executive Officer Michael Oluwagbemi stressed the importance of transition to natural gas. And I'm looking at the cost implication of it. As we speak right now, a liter of petrol is about 600 and something naira per liter.
Yeah, per liter, yeah.
If you compare
some places 630, some places...
NNPC is less than 600. But gas per kg is over 1,500.
No, the analysis I saw heard on radio, yes, was like 250 naira per one.
I think it's up north. They've initiated that. Because my husband was saying it has to be up north. I use a generator relying on gas. Okay. I converted immediately. This whole thing happened. I bought the conversion kit.
It's not cheaper.
And it's not cheaper.
Wow.
Of course.
So they didn't analyze it again with current reality.
Yes, he was an expert on radio. I can't remember the radio now, but I heard
I wish those
like
experts
250 naira per
liter,
which is supposed to be cheaper. But then you use like 500 and something to install and change your vehicle.
No, it's not that expensive. At the time when we did it was quite cheap. So maybe because of awareness now is going up, it was quite cheap. We just bought it at Alaba, called the guy, he fixed it and converted.
Okay.
But the use of the gas
itself,
compared to my neighbor who's running on petrol now, is not wise.
Oh, wow. Another story, let's move on.
Yes, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, represented by his spokesperson, Akin Rotimi, made a statement concerning the NLC strike and said that they wanted to stop the NLC from the misinformation and that has been going out by the NLC's spokesperson concerning the earnings of the House of Rep members of the National Assembly, that it is going to spark is going to be feeding wrong information and spark outrage in the hearts of people, but it wasn't the right information. They also said that the act of shutting down the national grid and critical infrastructure that makes the government work is like economic sabotage, and that are they trying to really solve the problems of the people or worsen the situation. The spokesperson also mentioned the fact that he finds it troubling that the leadership of the organized labor, majority of whom are living above the average Nigerians, are now doing activities in the name of protecting them that is causing them more hardship over the past 2 days. But they reiterated that they support Nigerians having a living wage. They also support the fact that the labor, the NLC and the TUC have a right to protest the lack of paying them a living wage, but that they should not...
To each other first.
Just after they responded. Can we just have a living wage and Nigerians live well? Why you people go and fight behind the corners?
Ramati, do you have a story?
Yes, I have the NAMA seeks retention of more revenues for operations. Earlier on, I think the federal government reduced 50% from its internally generated revenue. So the Airspace Management Agency, Farouk Ahmed Umar, has appealed to the federal government to allow the agency more access to internally generated revenue so as to enhance its operations. And he said that the NAMA is the heart of the aviation industry, is tasked with critical responsibility of ensuring the safe conduct of flights within Nigerian airspace, including the Gulf of Guinea. So he said that NAMA maintains advanced safety critical equipment, recruits and trains personnel to meet national and international safety standards. But now that 50% that has been reduced, that it has now... that the safety of the airspace and the current financial model is unsustainable. The 50% revenue deduction hinders our ability to maintain and upgrade critical infrastructure, such as our obsolete surveillance systems, which are over a decade old and urgently needed replacements. So they are saying that they should please return the 50% so that they'll be able to make sure that there are surveillance cameras and then be able to train their staff to be able to about any calamity that may happen.
Okay, let's move on out now to the Punch. Major headline: Labour considers 100,000 naira as Tinubu issues ultimatum. President orders minister to calculate cost. Labour gives 1 week ultimatum. 1 killed, 50 miners trapped as pit collapses in Niger. Sell crude to Dangote refinery. Federal government directs the IOCs. Naira may settle at 1,450 naira to $1 by December, according to Fitch ratings. Local government funds. Reps back federal government suit against governors. CNG will reduce petrol imports by $4.4 billion, according to the federal government. Police hunt for tenants as landlord dies during rent face-off. PSC unveils 10,000 recruits, drops 61,092 applicants. Let's do a story and then take
quickly, the 50 miners. So a mine belonging to the African Minerals and Logistics Limited collapsed in Shiroro local government area of Niger State after a downpour on Sunday evening. And sadly, one miner trapped inside died. 6 others were badly injured, amongst the injured are the site manager, Ibrahim Ishako, who was on site, the CSO, a middle-aged man, and one person known as Kuta was the victim who died. 6 other people, as I said earlier, were rescued with various degrees of injuries, and they were taken to the hospital. Punch is on the story. They have a manual for a rescue operation that is going on now, confirming who and who is not in the place. Another portion of the mining pit caved in, forcing the rescuers to abandon rescue operation, running for their lives. But as of Tuesday, when this report was filed, 50 miners were trapped underground, and this has triggered fear and that they might have died. The spokesperson for NEMA, Niger State Emergency Management Agency, which is anyway, Hussein Ibrahim confirmed the incident, and he said that the information of the incident was still very sketchy. I hope that I thought by now Sunday to
you should have posted more details.
Said it is due to nature, the nature of that environment that things like that happen. But I'm hoping that they can be quick pick with the rescue.
I also hope that the government is enforcing the fact that everybody that is on, any laborer working in the mine is a very, very risky job, and they should have a proper insurance. And if anything happens to them, their families are covered.
Yeah.
But in most cases, they are casual workers that we see working in those
Sadly,
which is wrong.
sadly, they are not like Pengassan.
Yeah. Let's take a breather here. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continue. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We're still reviewing the Punch. So I have the major headline here. Labour considers 100,000 as sustainable issues ultimatum. So organized labour may settle for 100,000 naira minimum wage as the tripartite committee on national minimum wage commences daily meetings for 5 days to reach a consensus. So multiple sources in the labour movement had told the Punch that the meeting they were going to be having on Tuesday was to review their demand from 494,000 naira to 100,000 naira, following the criticism and controversy that trailed the proposal, and a lot of people considered their requests outrageous and unrealistic. So in a statement by the media aide, Rabi Ibrahim, on Saturday, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said the proposed minimum wage will result in an annual expenditure of 9.5 trillion naira, a burden he described as unattainable for the nation's finances. And the National Assembly also had intervened with the indefinite strike, talking about how the banks, the airports, public schools, and courts were all shut down for the strike. But now they just have 5 days, which they said they are going to be having a conversation every day to get to, a decision. And Labour is saying that they are hoping that they will be able to pay at least 100,000, that they just picked the 494,000, not meaning that they will stay with it. They were willing to move, but at least the workers should be able to have something that resembles everything we're going through: inflation, cost, tariff hike, and different things that they are facing, but something that's a bit reasonable. So they are willing to move it up or reduce it to 100,000 naira, but nothing less, nothing more. So let's see how these 5 days go and hope that they are able to resolve this.
Even the 5 days, only the workers of electricity refuse to call off strike.
No, they are doing their own specially.
They don't give us back lights last night.
No, they know.
However,
Okay.
I've never run on used generator. I've not my generator.
You're blessed.
In a long time. So
wow.
Just this Monday and Tuesday, I felt it because it was total blackout.
That's our norm now. We know the sea lights by our side.
No, we are
so we found a way. We found a way to handle ourselves. Please, let me share that story.
Yes, this one is related to the NLC and their 100,000 naira, because one of the core things NLC, a lot of the leaders in NLC keep saying is the fact that the government has money because they are spending money on themselves. Now, Punch did his own reports.
Separately.
You and NLC, people are doing things together, because they said 30 governors spent 968 billion naira on entertainment within 3 months.
What are they entertaining?
Even the cameramen in the studio opened their mouth.
Yes, what are they entertaining?
Let's not even talk about just entertainment. Abia State spent 10 billion on expenditures, including 165 million on refreshments and feeding, 39 million on utilities, 240 million on sitting allowance, 127 million on local and foreign trips.
Oh, wow.
That's the states. And they were, like each state, 30 states spent that much money.
Wow.
Each state, what they spent. I think that this information is crucial to Nigerians to know.
We need to know.
So that we know how to hold our leaders accountable. Because if some states are saying we cannot pay the salary 35,000 naira minimum wage as it is, but you are prioritizing other expenditure. Bayelsa is doing refreshment, 35 billion on recurrent expenditure, 28 million on...
Can they pay out of pockets for their extras?
Yes, because if I am... Me now, I am switching off everything in my house.
They pay out of pockets.
Something billion for trips, foreign trips.
Yes.
So yes.
Exactly.
Now, none of them have brought investors.
You say you don't have money.
No.
Ogun State, 47
billion.
Osun, in 3 months. And
When
you
they
say,
pay you your salary and you want to do entertainment for people visiting you, pay out of pocket.
Simple.
That's the
If you
right
want
thing to
spend
do.
this kind of money, then you must get more creative.
No,
in
you
solving
can't even
problems.
He
spend it.
generating
It's wrong.
the revenue, and
Generate
it's
the
not,
revenue.
it's not to
Let's
further
move
tax
on, Jerry. It's
people.
not our hot topic. Ramatu, you have a story.
So, police hunt for tenant as landlord dies during rent fees off in Ogun State. Ogun State, every time I carry story from Ogun State, they always have one problem.
You like them.
You guys are stressing the police.
Go ahead.
So the Ogun State Police Command is on the lookout for a tenant simply identified as Mr. Emmanuel. They didn't put son in. There are plenty Emmanuels out there at Arigbabu Village, Sotubo in Shagamu local government area of the state after his landlord known as Benjamin Ape reportedly collapsed and died during an argument with him.
Hi.
Ape was said to be arguing with Emmanuel over unpaid house rent. And as they were arguing, I think the daughter was Indian. She heard him when he said that, I'm going to kill you. And also, according to her, during the argument, Epe collapsed and was rushed to the NNPC hospital, Musimi, but was later confirmed dead by the attending doctors. And
But they
then the
didn't touch him.
suspect-
They just said.
They just said. I said the suspect fled the scene, but efforts are underway to apprehend him.
Can they do autopsy so that they will be sure that
Is
it's
it
not,
Bollywood?
it's not
Yeah,
shock that killed him? Because
exactly,
now,
yes.
you know the way Nigerian police work.
Cardiac
This
arrest.
woman said she heard you, and then
Heard.
whether bench fly, whether not
What do
fly.
you mean our police has upgraded this?
guys.
Let's move on now to Vanguard. Minimum wage give cost to government today, Tinubu orders finance minister. Editors flay increasing spate of journalist abduction. 30 feared dead as mine site collapses in Niger. Edo, Ondo, Guba. INEC extends voter registration deadline to June 9. Labor leaders must reconsider wage demand to avoid layoffs. Yes, that's what we have.
So I have the Edo and Ondo. So according to the INEC commissioner in charge of information and voter registration, Sam Ulumekun, he said that INEC has decided to extend. Okay, so the voter continuous voters registration, the CVR, was supposed to end today, June 5, but INEC has decided to extend, seeing as things they go, to extend it for 4 more days to allow them to further register. I said the number of centers have also been increased beyond the 397 wards and state offices that they have in Benin City and Akure to include 36 local government offices of the commission in the 2 states. He also says that the ward registration centers detailed information on names and location and addresses of the local government offices have also been uploaded on their website and social media platform. So the elections, of course, are coming later in the year for both states, and they are, of course, using this opportunity to capture more people. I hope that the residents of both states will quickly join. They have over 120,000 new voters are registered in 8 days, and so I hope more people would come out to get their voters cards so that we'll have more representation.
Okay, any other story in the Vanguard?
Yes, there is the Osun State, rather. The Osun State Agency for Control of AIDS, ACA, yesterday disclosed about 50,000 residents of Osun State actually have AIDS. They said 28,000 of
Have
them
what?
HIV. Sorry.
Wow.
About 28,000 of them are getting treated, but the rest of them are not coming out. And they said, based on the statistics, it's important that people that have come, if you've tested and you're positive, come out for treatment. And even if you have not been tested, because some are not conscious of the test. You know, when you're doing other checks, they'll just check it, and you might not know, and you might not come out to get the results. So they are saying there are about 50,000 people, out of which 28 are being treated. He said this. The person is Dr. Adeni Ogini. He's executive director of the agency, and he was distributing HIV prevention tools to stakeholders in Oshobo.
Wow.
The local agency for control of AIDS and the network of people living with AIDS were the people that they are partners, and they got this things, and they said people should come out. If they come out, the antiretroviral drugs right now, if they use it, can bring the level of the virus within their system to the point where it is not even detectable, and their immune system will be able to fight diseases. But if you don't get treatment, you are not helping yourself. You will be spreading it, and then even the person who is going through HIV will fall ill more often. So I'm hoping, he said it's part of the aim of the governor, Ademola Adeleke. I have supported them with equipment and all the support they need to properly treat the people living with HIV within Osun State. So
okay, our final paper for today, Nigerian Tribune. We can't take everything. We have 3 burnt to death as tanker explodes in rivers. Who has that? Police Service Commission releases list of 10,000 successful candidates for recruitment. 3 to death, please.
So it's been confirmed by the state's police public relations officer, that's the Rivers State Police public relations officer, Grace Irege-Koko, that, you know, a fire explosion, a tanker explosion happened on the Obiri-Ikwere flyover along the east-west road of Port Harcourt. And it happened at 9:30 a.m. where a tanker suspected to be carrying liquefied natural gas fell over a vehicle, exploded while trying to navigate the roundabout, and boom, crushed everybody. The PRO confirmed that the victims were burnt beyond recognition when the tanker fell on the vehicle, and she confirmed the death of 2 persons. She also said that they are on ground. She, as well as the Commissioner of Police, are on ground, and the fire has been put out, but the area is still very dangerous, and they're asking people to find alternative routes. Sadly, the report also carried that scavengers were trying to take out parts of the tanker driver, and when one of them was picked, it was also handed over to the police. Now, you know, we are used to tank with petrol, you know, spilling and burning, but the gas we are looking at alternative cannot be transported this way.
At all, if we have to start using it,
this is a possible eventuality if there's a clash or an accident due to it. So we should start looking for safer
ways to transport the gas.
Safety.
Underground now. We can have underground.
Now we vandalize
problem plenty. I know we don't have time.
We have to go. We have to go. Thank you, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we move on to our topics. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We all remember the story of a lady who accused Erisco paste of mixing a poisonous substance to their tin tomato. The lady who has been in custody has reportedly lost her unborn child. The lady simply published a product review on her Facebook page saying, "I went to buy tin tomatoes yesterday that I will use to make stew. I didn't see Gino and Sonia, so I decided to buy this one." I mentioned the name Nagiko. It says, "When I opened it, I decided to taste it. Omo, sugar was just too much. Ha, Biko, let me know if you have used this tin tomato because this is an Ikeworo situation." Now, the post generated thousands of comments with some of the online commenters calling for a boycott of the Nagiko brand. In fact, the comment thread, a particular commenter was asking Egodi why she did the review. It got a response telling her to talk to your brother Erisco Foods to stop killing people. Now, this development infuriated Erisco Foods, who petitioned the Nigerian police to investigate the claims as it was a direct hit on the image of the company. What are your thoughts on this? You can join the conversation on 08107641679 or 09024163440 or tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. This Erisco issue, I was reading comments yesterday and I was scared. It was really for and against. I was thinking a lot of people would speak up for the lady, but from the comments I was seeing, I was now wondering exactly how did this start? But let me come to the ladies and let's see how we can cash this.
I remember when we took
give us the legal perspective.
Yes, exactly. The legal perspective.
Okay, she's been charged for cyber stalking, which she pleaded not guilty. It was a 2-count charge, but the other count is not there. And I think the style of the review, because she used social media, of course, you know, can fall into that. Then she did a comparison
of other brands.
You know, so he wasn't an exact review. If the review was, I tasted this, I think the sugar content is high, it's dangerous. Because I see international platforms do review.
They do review.
That is our Bonvita and Milo. They don't review them internationally. In India, in England, in Malaysia, they've been serious review, and the government has responded by compelling those brands to reduce the sugar content in their products. So she, you know, had reviewed that this content had, this paste had too much sugar. That was what she said. Well, she didn't call it poisonous, exactly, from what I read then. And she just said, you know, it was poisonous, it was dangerous to consumers. But the comments that were under that post were not balanced.
Did she mention it was killing people? Because
No, that was
an accusation.
That was a
comment. Situation. Like, this kind of situation, tire person.
Oh,
so
is
just
people commenting on her post were the ones saying, because she's from Igbo descent as well. That tell your brother
to stop killing people. Oh, you know? It wasn't her comment.
It wasn't hers. It wasn't hers. So I hope our lawyers are on their feet. And if you have a case like this,
still be in custody.
of course, she can. Trial can extend. I started a trial for a drug-related case in my firm. In fact, it was our first criminal case that we received as a firm. It's as old as the
company.
Oh, wow.
It was this year that they struck out.
Light at the end of the lack of
out
for
how many years?
Non-diligent prosecution. So we showed up in court every single day. In fact, that my client, in between a day of trial, he was kidnapped by all these one-chance bosses on his way to court. We went to court. Court claimed that we hid him. You know, we finally finished it. So it was a lot of drama. So it's not like people usually assume the justice system is swift. Some people will say, get me the divorce sign. All those kind of, that's in the film. The reality is that you will do it every single day till you get it done.
Wow.
You know, so sadly, she's on trial. She's been remanded in custody. She was pregnant.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. So even if they are following the books as they should, you know, a pregnant woman...
The law part will come to the ethics
The law part is that she's on trial. She's been granted bail. I hope that she's been able to meet her bail terms so she can go home. She really needs to go home.
So, what are your thoughts?
So, right from when the news broke out at first, I felt that, in my personal opinion, I felt she made a mistake. And she had come out to apologize at that point in time on what she did, that she didn't mean it this way. That if it was a case of, she had posted something. And sometimes there was a kulikuli I ate recently, and I felt that kulikuli had too much sugar.
Okay.
Now, typically, every kulikuli, they put sugar into it, but some people, because they want to sell, they put a whole lot more so that you would continue to eat, not considering the impact it's having on people's body, because it's a snack. So, but I felt that way. I'm not someone that would go online and then post. Yes. So, but if some other people on social media would have done and said, man, this, because if we say it for good, we say it for bad. If someone had come out, if you can take the good feedback, you should be able to take the bad ones too. Someone could have come and said, I used products, this Najiko's. I've never even heard of the Najiko before. Like, I used Najiko, and it was my stew was so red. My food was really delicious. They would take it as good feedback. And if they get a bad one, we should take it as, this is a bad feedback. Let's see
how we can improve.
We got feedback from you. We brought you in for a testing experience, and see that test the sugar of all of this. They could have been a beautifully managed PR moment for Erisco as a company, not to be seen as a power bully that I'm taking down this person, because that is what most people have said. And I've seen a few comments in favor of Erisco. Any business owner will not want somebody that would come and spoil their hard work. They've gotten loan, gotten investors, put up a good structure. But if you now show strength to someone who you can easily overpower, like a woman that did a post, when you could have brought her in and turned her into, from being someone against you, into being an advocate, an ambassador for you. I feel like Erisco lost a very, very huge opportunity to get goodwill and get feedback from the people that consume their products on what they truly think about their products. Even if it looks at, in the beginning, like this person is insulting my brand and calling me out in a negative way. But they've done what they've done right now. And Inyobong is the lawyer representing, and Inyobong is a well-known, Inyobong is a barrister, is a man that is well-known for being an activist on things like this. He's been on that case for a while. But I also know the judicial system is very slow. So they might strike out this case. She might win the case at the end of the day, but she has lost pregnancy. She has lost time. She has lost business.
Was it twins? Yes.
She has lost a whole lot in between. I watched the video of her husband, and I'm like, the time this lady has lost in trying to get that, could we have done this better? as a business person, I would say, yes, Erisco could have managed this better. But I guess from their own point of view, they're looking at it that we need to defend ourselves. We need to speak up against somebody spoiling our business name. We will see later.
So let me correct you there. I think they said she should come and apologize, but she refused to apologize when it started. Because, of course, I'm sure it's that Nigerian factor of like, it won't go that far. She didn't expect it to go that far, no. But okay, so I'll take it from the point of the Erisco Foods. I know running a business in Nigeria is very difficult.
It is.
So I'm sure he's feeling, he wouldn't want anybody to bring his brand down and all. But then, if you're running a business, there's bad publicity, there's good publicity. Sometimes that bad publicity, take advantage of it. I'm into the manufacturing industry as well. So if something like that, in my own opinion, if something like that happens to me, what I will do is, I'll call her up. I'll find out, okay, you said there's too much sugar. What did you use to cook with it? I'll maybe get a cook or somebody to come, and then we'll sit down together with her. We'll check. We'll cook something, and then she'll tell us. And remember, she was pregnant, so her taste buds would have been different or something.
Exaggerated.
Yeah. So, I'll get her. I'll even make her my brand ambassador. I'll use her page and turn things around for my products. That's what I will do.
Thank you.
So I'll call the cook. He will come. He will sit down. And if at all, because there are so many products in the market, that's why we have what we call batch numbers on our products. There are times that you produce a product and it's not up to standard. You would not know. It will get to the shelves of the supermarket.
Yes, and then the consumers.
So it's the consumers that will complain. So when they complain, that's why you have those batch numbers. You can identify that particular product and withdraw from the market. So it's not a mistake that you can have a bad product out there. But this review is supposed to take it as, coming from you.
Bless you for putting in perspective. So she might have taken from a batch that, this review would have been correct.
Yes.
But Erisco being Erisco now decided that they will just make an example so that nobody goes on any social media platform to talk about their brand.
Good or bad?
Good or bad. Because I don't think the good should be accepted since they not take the bad. Because it's true. If it ever happens that an Erisco brand is being reviewed on social media, I will log off it.
See.
I'm not saying this because I totally support what the lady did. I'm saying that, in the condition of pregnancy and that review, she could have been corrected. It's like using a hammer to slap somebody that carry tissue. You understand? Kill like kill a throw. It's for me, I'm not in support of any cyber stalking negative thing. I'm just saying I didn't expect it to stay this long.
To get this far. I thought
so. If she had come and insisted on her truth, that I had an Erisco brand, you go find dustbin, find the nylon for me. If you check on the batch, just as Ramatu just mentioned, that sometimes, because in production, okay, let me make you laugh. The last batch of rice I did, it is after reviews from customers came and I was changing the bags of rice that my miller opened up about a faulty machine.
Ew.
People were eating stone.
Yes.
I lost money. People bought and returned. I gave people other bags from the same batch, expecting that it's not everything. I found that from my elder sister's house. In fact, I visited my sister and they gave me rice and I put it in my mouth. I was like, is this my rice?
I think I got one of the rice. I told you. I got one of the rice.
Is this my rice? I've told my miller, if we cannot continue rice the way we are that, because we had achieved our standard.
Yeah.
And I started marketing from that point that, no, you cannot. If my miller cannot achieve it, make I come up for the business because I cannot start to. And what I have lost, if I want to recover from it, is a 3 years trip to recover from it. Yeah. But have I gone to lock anybody up? Because I know we're in production.
Yes. Mistakes
now,
happen.
yes, especially in food matter, food production, quantity measurement, anything can go wrong. So if she gave that review and you do not like it, let her get the batch. You go back to your people. Because not be you, they come miss the tomato, the Maggi, and the whatever preservation you pour inside. Something could have gone wrong, and it can be honestly wrong. But to make a scapegoat, because what they're trying to do is that I would drain you. As a brand, I think
we have David from Nasarawa. Good morning, David.
Sorry, David.
I also recollect watching an interview a man granted. A man who stood as a shorty. I think she also left. There was a story about trying to resolve this case out of court, which was why I felt they had resolved it out of court. And I think they were also trying to get her to bring the paste you took from and all of that. I know that going on social media is extremely trending now. Everybody wants to do anything so that they can trend. Everybody wants to do everything so they can go viral. And because we're making money from, some people are making money from being on social media. So it's extremely important that sometimes this scapegoat system will help checkmate actions of those who don't understand that there will be repercussions for what they have done. Because if people get away with things, we've seen people come online and say, somebody called out Ayo Makun, AY, that AY's wife is this one. They called that Nathaniel Bassi's daughter is not daughter. I know. I'm saying like social, like generally when you come online and you say things, you need to be able to with your full chest. Because if I did taste like this is extremely sugary, and I come on and I say it, I am responsible for what I have put out there. Am I also responsible for the comments people will put? Because I have given validation to somebody's what they have in their mind before, and then I'm giving them a platform to push that narrative. And I can be held responsible for everything everybody is putting under their post. That is why when somebody calls us on TV, and the person says, the president is this one, the host will quickly say, no, you cannot say that on national television. We do not allow it. Because you have to protect your platform. Similarly, if you come on YouTube and you post some comments that it's not appropriate for my platform, because I'm responsible for that, I'll delete it. So she also might not have known the entire repercussion of what she's done.
There's a reason I wanted us to separate the issues. So we have people who just go and defame people for whatever reason. And we have people who make reviews. Reviews are allowed. Yes. You are into production. You should not just be waiting for only the positive comments. You will get the negative comments. Make reviews. Now, are you saying that her going online to give a review on the product was wrong? Of course. That's one. It wasn't wrong, in my own opinion. The actions of the person. So what I saw from the comments that I read was that they were asking her to, she was daring them to go to court. Yes. She kept daring them. We will meet in court. We will meet in court. We will meet in court. She didn't want an outside settlement when they threatened, according to the comments that people made. So is that action where she now started daring them to go to court is where I saw that, are you sure this is just a simple review? Because if I review your rice now, for instance, and then you say, Auntie Oya, give me that particular rice, let us test it. And I say, no, I'm taking you to court. Let's go to court. I'll meet you in court. It will seem like I'm looking for another thing. It's not just about the product.
Okay, so, you know, she might have a civil arrangement in mind. So when it comes to civil suit, you can tell somebody I'll meet you in court. But it's a different ball game when it's a criminal matter.
So this is a criminal matter
the police,
now?
yes, it's a criminal matter. And it's the police that is prosecuting on behalf. Erisco is holding us watching brief. They petitioned the IG to have her arrested. The IG is the one trying her right now, is the one, you know, prosecuting on behalf of the government. So it's her versus state. Sadly, that's a different ball game. Of course, you still settle. You can settle anything. You can reach anything. Somebody can decide to withdraw his statement or his petition, and that ends it. There's no witness, matter ends. But it can be done. But it's a different ball game when you're under that kind of trial. Court can say remand, release, grant bail. You know, it's no longer one person's choice to say, let's release, let's not release. It's now, you know, back and forth between her and what the court is granting for a trial. It's a very sad
but I think we have a caller. Good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You're live, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, my name is Masava. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Emmanuel from my hometown. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. My first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, first of all, goes out to the lady for losing her pregnancy. You know, it's something that she may not be able to take it in the wife, to have to. But I must say that that's why the government needs to put in place to hold social media from being complaints. Now, she had an issue with that particular that she used, did she go to the right thing? Because I feel people should be able to, okay, go to NAFTA. Look at this thing. If he wants to do something good for everybody, it was harmful to me. Go to NAFTA. There are people that can see all these things. They're coming on social media to destroy someone's business. That person has been here. It is a lot.
Do you think the plan was to destroy the business or to just, you are a consumer, you bought a product and you just want to talk about your experience of the product? Is that destroying someone's business?
If she had not made the comparison, she called two brands.
Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We are still talking about this issue. And, you know, I was looking at the whole scenario and I'm asking myself, are we really ready to do business in this part of the world, right? Because I know that serious business people always have a slot, maybe on their website, you know, where you can make a review, where you can comment. You go for trainings, they also give you papers to fill. What do you think about this? What do you think we can adjust and all of that? And if you're, you have a big brand where you're selling products, consumables that people can eat, you should have space to hear people out, right? And like you were explaining to me that it was the comparison that probably brought about the malice. That could have also been handled, about that comparison. That lesson could have also been taught. But the issue of now going to court is sort of showing like you can't come out and say something about any prominent or big man in the country.
You have been bullied.
Exactly.
No, that you cannot defend.
You cannot defend.
If you want to say something,
what is she going to defend here? Defend the sugar?
I tasted like this, so in my mouth.
That's what she said. So what is she defending?
Exactly.
Okay,
Well, that's why,
except she froze it.
bring a cook to help her, to guide her. To me, you shouldn't be in business if you know that you cannot handle bad reviews.
No.
Because bad reviews can be very bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so, we can't forgive Coca-Cola. As my people call Coke. Coke, they have demonstrated with videos,
yes, so
everything.
On how bad
video of Coke. They poured it inside one close to a river or something, poured the Coke inside fish. They're just coming out.
Oh, those funny videos.
Bad reviews. Yes. They have brought it down, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. They have tried to compare them, bad reviews and all. So if you are in business and you know that you cannot handle bad review, then you shouldn't be in business.
Let's take this
reviews
call. I'll
are
come to you,
different
darling.
from
Let's take this call first. We have Owolabi from Egbenda. Then I'll come to Nima. Good morning, Owolabi.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. What really happened to my mom before? One Nigeria bottling company, we saw cockroach inside the bottle that they have caught. Before my mom called me, I said, let me call my lawyer. When I called my lawyer, you know what my lawyer told me? He said, they will do everything possible to secure their brand. It's better you just trash this. For a lawyer to tell me that, I don't know, I don't have to go further again than to just trash the bottle that, so that is Nigeria that we are. There are some way whereby in the Western country, you can easily email them and they come for a review, maybe the people that do the night or this and that. But Nigeria here, we are not ready for business. We're not ready for business. We just want everything to be positive review. It's not possible. It's not possible. You are bringing someone from A family, from B family, maybe during the night, maybe the person has a rough day and sleeping without venting anything. So thank you. Have a blessed day in Lagos.
Thank you, sir.
So very sad. So reviews are different. If I as a brand come where companies are the one eliciting those reviews, they'll keep, a space for you to give reviews. You can reach us. There's a number usually they put on their brands. They want the feedback.
Yeah.
You give that feedback on what you've experienced using the product. But a person who does video, social media reviews can take a brand and say, okay, today I'm reviewing. If she had a history of reviewing plenty brands, for instance, she must have reviewed different tomato paste from different brands, and then it's Erisco turn that day. But, you know, the way and manner the reviews were done, wordings, you know, what will criminalize what she has done is malice, and he showed it. Because she said, I did not see brand A and B in the market. I come buy C. Now, C is what you now chose to review. What you started with is compare to the safer brands. You know?
Okay.
I'm not a lawyer.
I don't know these things.
That's why you should not go online and go and do the one that is not your...
That's why they're making a scapegoat of her. So that next time somebody wants to review, you will remember Erisco and this lady.
Hey.
And you will know how you are reviewing.
That you
because we are not...
compare.
Yes, and we are not abroad. In abroad, we have working agencies who would themselves have spotted sugar inside. I'm calling out NAFDAC and Co. I'm calling them out. You buy some things and come and be wondering, how did this thing make it in this country? To the shelves where there's review. You buy some, they will bring all these machines and all of that imported. It passed through the port. You'll be asking, what things SOM was looking that I ended up using money to buy this thing that I pressed on, didn't work. You know? So they end up in the houses, and now somebody is asking you to call the same agencies who closed their eyes and missed it from the point of test to that point. Whenever somebody reaches out like this on any brand and product, as Ramatu said, it would be really nice that, you know, the owners of the manufacturers look at it from a mass production point of view, and that errors can happen. But sadly, she also enabled criminality of, you know, of what
those
she has
comments
done
by accepting
by
those
her
comments
and leaving those comments on her page.
Should she have deleted the comments as they were coming?
Yes, she could also have said
even in reading them, she could have been replying.
Yes, that only
know?
say the fact that
Yes,
you know. Because if you don't know, if you are coming there and people, you know, people like to just jump on trends. They'll just go there and start just anything without any fact.
Just fell into wrong hands.
Let's take this alleged. Yeah, you save yourself.
Nobody wants a libel suit on them.
We have a caller, Uloma from Ogba. Good morning, Uloma.
Good morning, BC and the ladies. Good morning. First time caller, even though I'm an old fan.
Old fan. You're welcome.
It's very easy to get across to you ladies. Okay, so you're sitting on the review from Chama Okoli. It's really, I must say, I feel so bad for her. When I read that she just lost her pregnancy, my heart really goes out for her. But I want to also join my voice to that of the last caller. Like the last caller said, truly, Nigerian businessmen and women are not really, you know, they're not actually, they're not good with their reviews. Once the review does not actually go in their favor, then they hunt you down. That is the reason why Nigeria is where we are. But when somebody makes a review objectively, we should be able to take it, whether it is good or bad. And to tell you the truth, Chama Okoli is not far from the truth. A lot of people have used this brand of products and they have complained. It's just that some of us did not come out online to actually say it. Because I was the time I had the carton of this product that I couldn't use. I had to give it up. I had to dash it up. Yes. As what she said was actually the truth. Personally, I can't use it because I bought it, used it, and I couldn't eat the food. I had to start giving out the carton of that product. Even during the time of COVID, when I did a little palliative to the glory of God, I had to use some of it. So only few people were able to say, I like it. And I said, take it. I gave it out to them. So they should please, for God's sake, is enough is enough. This lady has gone through a lot. They should please pardon her for whatever mistake she has made in her review. Like Nima said, if she actually used any wrong words or wordings or whatever, maybe she didn't know, she was not sure of how it would end up at later. Please, I think she has suffered enough. They should please release her and let her go home to her husband. She has suffered enough. Enough is enough. Before women come out and start carrying placards, I think she has gone through a lot. It's enough. This company should please go back. They should go back and then work on their product. This is not the cause of somebody making a bad comment about their product. This is true. They should just go back and work on their brand. Please. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Uloma.
My challenge is, Uloma is saying her own now, her personal opinion, alleging that she also used the product,
but she didn't go online.
Good. If they can create a class action, like a group of people coming out to say that what she's saying, we also experienced it, so that it
That
will not
could
be
help.
that this one person is being malicious, but she was giving her feedback. But we need to support, because they came on our page and said it was not good. But have they come to support her in court to say we are joining to say it is not
Okay,
good?
so I don't know
how to do that in this country now.
Okay, so when they are, everything is sweet, everybody will be with you and supporting you. When things bend, everybody enter inside their house. And so we also need to, like, I feel like...
Okay, so what about people that like the tastes with sugar in it? Are you not talking? Are you not considering those ones?
Exactly.
There are people that have been using it and they like the sugar in it. So a bad review can just be that, okay, maybe reduce.
Not everybody is your customer.
Yes. So that's just it. Just adjust.
So it's also possible that, sugar, recently Nigerians are, almost everybody is diabetic. We're dealing with some health issues, and it's risky to have such sugar, except Erisco themselves were the ones projecting that their own is not a sugar brand, that they don't put any form of sugar in it. If they have any form of sugar in it,
paste has sugar.
if they have
also
it,
want that
that's
sugar
when you
too.
come out.
So
See,
distinguish
I
their
have to
own
do a
brand.
comparison. But we had this Ajinomoto brand on the show recently. They came for their marketing.
Yeah.
And they were a brand that, the whole world, since my grandmother's days, have condemned. They will say, that white one, that's,
White Maggie.
But this brand constantly, head-on, are doing their marketing.
Yeah.
They even brought someone here to
Life
give us
food.
the health benefits
Yes,
of it, saying that the alternative, as opposed to all what we thought MSG was, they gave all the examples. So imagine Erisco coming here and saying, sugar is an important ingredient in tomato paste. Not be the one way they make for house, but their own or other brands. This is an important, and this is what.
And also tell us the quantity of the sugar. Because some people like us like sweet.
That this is what it does. No, now you go know. So when you don't chop anything you make with their tomato paste,
Say it's sweet.
Don't drink a frizzy drink at the end of it.
Yeah.
But if they come and say there's this amount of sugar in it, this is what it does. It is what keeps it, the shelf life longer.
Yeah.
It is what
Exactly.
add those, do that
market
marketing.
PR opportunity that
for
they
them.
missed.
And they lost.
The last caller mentioned that placard. I think that placard is the way to go, because what you're trying to do with this case, even though there's a case, I don't know. I'm not the one who made the criminal code or all the criminal laws that we have. But as Nigerians, somebody has just told us that if you taste our brand, you no good, forget your money. Leave it for the next maga that will buy it, because another person goes there, mistakenly buys it. But eventually, what Erisco will suffer is that they will lose their market.
Yeah, they will lose their
And
market.
people
are
want
vexed.
So this is not a way to go. This is badly thought through.
I sat down and I thought deeply, like, okay, so what is in it for Erisco Foods? Because now there's now this bad
A lot of negative
people are not going to buy your products. Now you may have to. They're going to even spend more. Because they may have
brand.
Yes, because I'm sure most of their, because me too, I'm into manufacturing, I'm sure they've already produced plenty of the packaging stuff and everything. They have to change their name and enter the market through a different name.
What's this car?
Because now, very soon, anybody that goes to the market, they will not want to buy the brand.
Ramatu, there's a car brand for a particular year. I think in the US, is it on there? Or that had already been sold for that particular year. They are recalling. They are recalling everybody that bought that car. Because they say there's an error in it.
Yeah.
Nothing there's no
lose money.
There.
Yeah, you lose
See,
money.
you lose money to make money.
Yeah.
Let's say this review was bad. Recall the batch. Ramatu has enlightened us. There's a batch. You can be traced. You recall it. Do something with it. Let people see that you're responding to their own fears as opposed to yours.
My worry is,
when
will she get released?
She's been granted
And
if commit her bail terms.
Aside from bail, like at the end of this case, when the case ends, if they go back to court after she is going to be convicted, what are the kind of punishments that can happen in it?
Sentence now.
So
We have to serve attempt.
Are you serious?
are you kidding me?
Yes, no,
For saying this product has sugar.
Except there's a fine attached and the discretion of the judge is to award fine as well.
I saw a fine, like 5M. Okay, that's a bill.
That's bail.
So let's
Be careful of what you say, oh. Because what
let's
you say, I do say.
let's take a short break. When we come back,
Shall move
I
on.
really don't know what we're going to do when we come back, but let's take a short break.
Very sad.
We'll be back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We have a visionary entrepreneur on a mission to revolutionize, skincare in Nigeria. And before we come to her, we are going to wrap up on the last topic we're talking about, Erisco. So I wanted to ask, now this matter is becoming scary for me. I feel like people are not allowed to share their views. And there are people who must talk. It's part of what they do, to look at situations, look at products, and talk about it, right? Are we going to stifle those people? That's on one hand. Secondly, how best can we do reviews? We need to start educating ourselves so that we don't go out there and get into trouble like this, at least till Nigeria gets to a point where people are allowed to speak freely and then no repercussions at the end of the day. But right now, we are seeing that there are powers that be, that you cannot just touch their things anyhow without facing it. Now, how do we constructively do a review if we have to review products?
Okay, so I'm happy that Nima gave us a bit of legal perspective because if you don't, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. But I think that even with what we've done on the show over the past 10 years that we've been on the show, we know that whenever we're discussing topic, we have to take both sides of the story.
Balance it out.
That's the ethical thing. That if you're going to compare me, who are you comparing me with? And on what basis are you running the comparison? You have to prove that you are competent enough to run that comparison. Is it your taste, your tongue that wants to know whether sugar is more here or sugar is not enough here? Or are you a scientist that you could do some checks and you were able to find out the quantity of sugar properly?
Yeah.
There is a particular Milo advert that Aproko doctor did on social media, and a child nutritionist came up with her own review of that same advert and said, what this guy said is not wrong, but here are the things this guy did not say.
Highlight, yeah.
And then she went into the product itself and the things they wrote at the back of the product, that this is the number of grams of sugar, this is the number of this, went to the company's website and brought out what they wrote on the website. So that's a review that was constructive-based. So if you want to do review, do your research.
Okay.
Ensure that you put the details there. If you are running comparison, have both products and be able to defend what you are running. And most finally, put a disclaimer. This is not a malicious product. I'm not doing a malicious video. I am just giving you my opinion. If you see online, everybody will say, I don't support violence. I'm just putting this video there.
Yeah.
I am not abusing this music. I'm just using it. You have to be able to put it out there because what you think is, I don't know what you are thinking. I'm not a mind reader. I am seeing what you have done, and I'm seeing the fact that what you have just done is going to scatter my company that I've worked so hard for. So I'm going to deal with you based on what you have done, except you tell me this is my intention. Then I will now take that up. I cannot know your mind. So I think it's important that we take that lesson seriously.
We have to take the lessons. Take some messages.
Bosse Olale says, Erisco has been on your view, but Erisco has been on your view to explain these products properly. He says some of these products have high concentration of sugar for a purpose, and they actually have other pureed tomatoes. I even remember they spoke about ketchup. Let's read the labels carefully before we purchase. I'm sure I wasn't on that show.
Yeah.
I can't remember it. Bola Ola Obadi Meji says, I think the lady should have used the customer care contact on the pack of the tomato paste for her complaint. That is why every product have it. Probably the lady thought Erisco would call her, negotiate with her, but she has wrong. Do you know that NAFDAC conducted a test on the product and found it good for consumption?
Oh, wow.
Let us all condemn the lady and her lawyer should stop grandstanding, initiate an out-of-court settlement. Pregnancy is not a license to be pitied in court. Yeah. Very sad. But Ogumola says, Nima, you're right. You can recall a product from the market after detection of defects. Recently, I got a mail from Chevrolet to take my car for a free part replacement after they discovered the defect. I drive a 2011 car. 13 years after, Erisco suit is just a show of power.
Yeah. A business that cannot accept reviews in good faith shouldn't be in business. This just further tells me how much he runs his business and the way he addresses his employees. I don't know how they are. I just wonder those employees cannot do anything wrong in that business.
You know that sometimes to protect your business, you would have to speak up. I'm of the opinion that there's some mistakes. They could have tempered justice with mercy. But I feel like if somebody goes online now and says that the company that I am diligently building, and somebody goes online and says, this is what TMO did, this company is not doing ABCD, and goes out falsely bringing that up, I'm not going to...
If they lie on you, that's different. But if they say there's sugar content in something that there's actually sugar content, is that a lie?
Is that a lie? It's not a lie.
It's not a lie. However, she goofed in the way that she said it and the comparisons that she made. That could also have been handled.
Everybody have blame, even the judge in question.
Yeah, everybody. All of them have blame.
A pregnant woman.
In the matter that she's
pregnant
on trial, you
pregnant.
only convict and sentence a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
But on trial, there's an exception, and it's not even a mother.
That's all we can take on this. Let's move on. But I'll be asking our guest a question. So, her introduction again, she is a visionary entrepreneur on a mission to revolutionize the global skincare industry while honoring Africa's rich heritage. With a fiery passion for her continent, fueled by her unwavering passion for Africa's untapped potential. Welcome with us, Ifekoya Oluwafumilayo. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing today?
Welcome. Thank you, I'm fine.
Yes, so before I come to you and what you do, what do you think about this Erisco business?
I think that it could have been better managed. That's why companies have PR teams. Public relations is such a huge part of how a company communicates with the public. What companies normally do, because I know even Gino had a similar situation, I think some months back, is the first thing you do in a PR crisis is, one, you respond. And the first thing you should do in your response is to apologize, whether you are even investigated or not. I'm very sorry for this inconvenience. However, give us some time to investigate the issue, and we'll come back to you with a reply. And the amazing thing about this is that you can actually spin this whole issue into something that is a much more positive PR. Imagine if Erisco Foods released our response, actually went back to investigate the batch, the dates that the product was produced, if there was something wrong with that batch, and came back with a proper press release and said, okay, you know what, based on our investigation, we have noticed that maybe the batch...
Nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong, you know.
She said, correct.
Yeah, basically. And then even say, you know what, we're going to be giving you possibly 5 free cartons of Erisco tomatoes or something nice. Or possibly even bring you to a facility and show you how we produce our products, our quality assurance process. All of that could have even spinned off into positive PR that could have even earned the brand millions of naira. It could have been turned into a PR opportunity. But then again, that's why I said, that's why there are PR teams in companies. That's what they are saying.
Maybe these people did not have a proper PR team. They have a basketball team.
I didn't say that, but I'm just saying that that's why you have PR people, PR agencies that make tons of millions. Big brands, MTN, all the brands, even the big FMCG brands, they have huge PR teams that handle
some of these things. Yes.
Yeah, you don't just reply. No. You.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. You pretty much covered it. Thank you so much. So let's talk about you and your skincare, and I'm not global skincare. You're into global skincare.
Yes.
So why did you decide to get into skincare? What sort of skincare? What problems are you solving with your products?
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for that question. So the brand is hinged on, first of all, I did not plan to start a skincare brand. It was never a dream. But I'll talk about how I stumbled upon the brand. Africa is more than coconut oil, shea butter, and aloe vera. People need to understand that. For, I think, up until 2018, I struggled with a dermatological issue that I was seeing a dermatologist here in Lagos, for a very great dermatologist, by the way, for a couple of years. And every time I had my periods, I went through extreme stress, I would have like a recurring bout. And I remember then that a colleague mentioned that why not try, alternative like, medicine, African herbs. I was very hesitant, very, very, because there's a lot of negative PR around, our local herbs. So eventually I did. And I remember walking into the herbal market for the very first time, meeting this amazing herbal practitioner, and I show her my back, and she says, you know how these people are. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. This has been an issue for me for so many years. It's recurring. Every time I go into my dermatologist, I get these drugs and creams, but it comes back every time I go through stress. And then she cuts this herb into 2, puts the exudate on my back, and then I go home, and the next morning, it's completely cleared. Wow. And then the thing for me was if something like this exists, why is it not an ointment or a cream? Or why is it not a properly produced product that has gone through licensing, research, certification by NAFDAC, of course? And that was the beginning of the brand for me, because then I researched, are there any brands that are actually not just researching the herbs, but looking for ways to harness these herbs and turn them into finished beauty products. And then I really couldn't find, because most of the brands I could see, amazing brands, by the way, of course, they're majorly just focusing on the popular ones, aloe vera, shea butter, black soap, coconut oil. But there's so much more. It's incredible. Africa has over 50,000 researched herbs. Imagine the herbs that have not been researched. And then there are herbs that treat skin disorders as worse as tinea infections, yaws, psoriasis. It's crazy what we have that nobody is harnessing. So the journey started with asking a question, why? Okay, why? If nobody is doing it, why are we not doing it? And how can I start to, create something out of this? So that's actually, I did not plan out. Yes, I never planned out.
We don't get it from our trouble.
When I saw you first, I'm an advocate for Luca, but when I saw you first and I read your resume that you're skincare person, I thought, Mulatto,
absolutely not.
No, last I'm disappointed you are not more, because people just want to bleed.
What do you mean? Am I fair?
But are you not trying to get into the market? Because I can mention a brand of movie producers who are in the business of mixing it. They are not mixing.
No, absolutely not. Because for us, the integral part is we want to really promote Africa beyond just selling our products. We want Africa to have a voice at the center stage in the global beauty market. The only way we can compete with the big beauty brands is to innovate. And they do it better. You can't compete with them.
Yeah.
So the only
They bleach it better.
They bleach it better. I'm telling you. So the only way, and then people are even beginning to look for more cruelty-free formulations, more natural, skincare products. The only way Africa can really compete in the global beauty market is to create something different. And we have it. It's just that we're not really industrializing that sector. We are so focused on the popular,
want fast money. See, don't blame us.
No, I do blame us.
We want fast money.
No, but I think it's been a very hard journey for me. It's been a very difficult journey. The research,
But I am surprised that we have that much research. It is easy for Nigerians and people to assume that a lot of our local options, for whether for health or even for beauty, is not researched. So that's what I've heard it, I've said it, but now you're telling me there are several research that has been conducted on these things. And like Bisi said, we should not blame people. That is what is available. Coconut oil is everywhere. She's into groundnut oil.
Want fast money.
Yeah, what is available? So, but can you explain the process of sourcing these materials and the solution you've been able to provide? I use K-Beauty now, and I'm a huge fan. And I realized that how did Korea Beauty stand out was by using products that were not in the regular Western world formulation.
You cannot say you use K-Beauty when Body by BC is here. You cannot try it. Please, stop it.
Stop it.
Answer the question, man.
Body by Beauty, sorry.
Leave me, Joe.
But BC,
answer the question.
Thank you very much. Okay, so let me first of all talk about my research. So my research was in about 3 dimensions. The first part of my research was I worked with herbal practitioners for about 3 years. I traveled to Ghana, to even Cote d'Ivoire, to actually start a research, interviewing and speaking to herbal practitioners. Then the next stage of my research was, finding the English and botanical names for those herbs. And that was the most difficult part of the research. And that involved, a lot of research journals. Actually, we have some universities already doing this research. Like, a lot of the journals I read were done by this Professor Famuyiwa in OAU. I'm shout out to Hive Chef who sees this interview. She really helps me a lot. Then my sister was also a botanist as well. Then also as well, I also had to work with other botanists and also a cosmetic scientist to see how to make these herbs, into products that are fit for market. In terms of sourcing ingredients, I majorly source a lot of the herbs from the herbal practitioners themselves, and it also empowers them economically because the more demand for the herbs, the more that they can also, make more
on the business.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So your skincare products, is it targeted at women, children, or?
So we have a line that's targeted at, women, men, and children. Usually, kids easily develop tinea infections, atopic dermatitis, like the common eczema. So we have products that heal that, because if you look at way back before media proliferation and globalization, we already used these herbs to heal a lot of these things, and they were working perfectly.
You have one for these when children, these nappy rashes.
Yes, absolutely. Of course we do. And I remember that even when I was working with the herbal practitioners, they taught me lots of herbs to use for children. And the good thing about these herbs is that they have less side effects than even the usual corticosteroids and, a lot of mothers and children use. Because for even most corticosteroids, you can't use them for more than 2 weeks to a month because they can have adverse effects on the skin and even it can enter into the blood. So Africa has everything. We have everything.
So let me come a bit personal. So I remember a few years back when I got an idea to have my skincare line, right? And I bounced the idea off a few people. And the thing I heard is, are you ready to bleach? You are not fair now. They will not buy. You are not fair. They will not buy. Except you are supposed to show them, yes. You are supposed to show from dark to the glow up. That's when you have customers. So that discouraged me for quite a number of years till I now shrugged off my shoulder and said, this is where I'm getting to. This is the aspect I am going to be dealing with, which I now focus on getting fruits that will help us with anti-aging. That's my own forte now. So people like me that want to look 16 forever, that's the product. But did you get, negative discouragements from people because you are maintaining your melanin and then you are doing skincare, right?
I still have people who dare me to ask for whitening products. And for me, it also means that there's a market I cannot cater to. And I've completely accepted that. But also, there also is a growing consciousness. People really realizing that you can have beautiful skin without bleaching. But I also think that education needs to happen more. There needs to be a lot more, consciousness around the fact that melanin is actually very beautiful, and you can be beautiful in any shade of melanin. It just needs to be, clear, glowing, beautiful, and all that. But regardless, there would always be people who are stuck on whitening and bleaching, and I can't cater for that market, and it's fine. I've accepted that.
It's not your market.
It's not my market.
Let us move.
I wanted to ask you about the thing is, sadly, a lot of Nigerians don't even go through. We don't read
ingredients. Oh my God!
Of all the steroids and things that we use. And many local people, once you have rash, they'll be like, go and buy that. Like it's go to the chemist.
They have names that they mention.
Yes, go to the chemist and go and buy that and go and buy that, and they just use and use and use. And most of those products are not meant to be used or reused over a long period of time.
Absolutely.
And this is me doing public announcements for all those that have skincare issues. That when you are reusing those products, you're damaging long-term into your body because those products they are very harsh and they're meant to be alive for 3 days. If you read what they wrote on the body, even if you read the proper full paper, they'll fold it small.
Very tiny.
When you read it, you realize that you tell yourself, let me carry this my rash and be going, rather than using this product. How do you get the extraction process to? Because I'm always worried about most of what we use locally are herbs, bark of trees, leaves, we are tegbo,
Exactly.
How do you now extract
Pocket to mix.
No, definitely not.
How do you do the extraction process? Are you scientific or you still try to keep to the old herbal ways with which we grew up?
So for me, it's a fusion of both worlds, a fusion of the African beauty research and cosmetic science. So as I mentioned, I work with a cosmetic scientist for also a long period of time to find how to make these products more fit for markets. The way that I'm seeing the brand, I want to build a global African brand. And we can't do things the old ways. I mean, we're inspired by the old ways, but we need to modernize the old ways. So definitely not. It goes through a process of, sterilization because the herbs needs to be sterilized. It needs to be cleaned. And it also goes through a process of measuring because people don't understand that you can't just wake up and start pouring things together. No, it doesn't work that way. Even with the herbs, there needs to be a certain percentage. You have to measure.
You have to weigh.
And you have to, you have to weigh. And then you even need to consider different skin types. Okay, what percentage of this particular herb can, serve for the 5 different skin types, combination skin, sensitive skin, dry skin, oily skin. So it's a lot of research that goes into that. So for me, I have taken that painstaking research to do all of that work because the plan is to build a global beauty brand, an African-inspired beauty brand.
Let's talk about your blood and sweat inside this business, right? Because I understand that the skincare business is not a funny one.
Yes.
You have regulation to deal with on one hand. That one costs a lot. You have the raw material sourcing, that one costs a lot. Sometimes you do a batch and it comes back not the way you have seen it. You have to. I recently had that experience when I was launching my own product, and the batch was not what I expected. So we had to discard it. It was millions gone. I
Yes.
didn't just want to cry publicly.
Yes.
I cried somewhere. But how do you deal with now getting it out into, after all of those stress, getting it out into the market, talking to people to understand that this is better compared to what they are used to that will likely be cheaper for them to get?
Very good question. I've honestly had a lot of challenges in that regard. And as I said, there's a lot of education that needs to be done regarding what we have on our herbs. And one of the things I had to do was map my route to market. And for me, I realized that one of the ways that I wanted to be able to enter the markets efficiently was to also partner with modern trade outlets. Okay. So for instance, a couple of weeks back, I met the founder of Ebano, and I pitched my business, and I told him, he was actually very, very impressed. And then, so very soon, we're going to have our products in, a couple of Ebano stores.
All right.
And also, I started working on documentaries. I have a documentary called Africa is More Than Shea Butter. It's part of, the ways that I'm looking to educate people and say that there's so much we have here. You people, open your eyes.
We have gold here.
We have gold here. Why are we running to Shokoto when it's not Shokoto?
Running to Korea.
I'm telling you, this is... And then it's the fact that also there's also the place for fusion. We can start to also infuse, for me, like I have a couple of products where it's a fusion of both herbs and also, some skincare actives. And it even makes those skincare actives better work better. So there's always a place for fusion, and that's how innovation actually comes in as well.
Yeah. Are you married?
No, I'm not married.
Yeah, dating. Are you dating? I like her already. I have some people that are looking for wives.
So I do like the idea of the, and I need to congratulate you on the documentary. I saw it on your Instagram.
Thank you so much.
Because I think one of the reasons, because BC has called me out several times. I use a soap. It's a soap. I use BC papaya soap. But I watched a documentary on K-Beauty and how they came up with trying to, they got the support of their government. It was it was a total plan that we have our local. We use snail, kinekon. And this is something that our people have used since forever. And the world does not use it. The Western world don't know that you can.
Let's monetize this.
So they came up with it.
Even
and
China.
Put it in
China,
all
Korea.
products. And it took over everywhere. And they told their story.
Their snail, their mushroom, a lot of things.
So I think that it's important that you explain the documentary of telling the story of why am I doing this? What are the things I'm putting into my product that is different from what you're getting from other international brands? We're not calling names anymore now.
Yeah,
because
don't call him. Don't try it. Don't call him.
So, and it's important. So I'm excited about this journey, and I don't know how you're paying it forward. What do you see in the future? What's the next 5 years? What's the next 10 years going to be like?
I'm looking to, let me just say this, I'm looking to send a proposal to a couple of state governments that partnerships, because there are a lot of kids in less privileged areas that have a lot of skin disorders and they cannot afford dermatologists. So one of the next projects on my table is to start pitching to them. So, okay, how can we come in and create products, 2,000 products for 2,000 kids in these communities at a subsidized rate? And, how can we start to heal their skin with these products? It's more natural, it's less expensive. They can afford dermatologists, so you're also doing them a favor as well. So, yeah, those are one of the things that we're looking to do. Regarding funding, it's been the research, the project, the brand has been completely self-funded. And I also think that there's not a lot of support from the government in terms of funding research and development in Nigeria. I mean, of course, this can be improved on. So, but imagine, because if I wasn't passionate about this, I think I would have given up.
You would have given up, trust me.
Yes, because, if it wasn't a passion, if it was just a money-making venture, a quick one,
you would have packed up.
I would have packed up. But imagine if it would have, because research has to be ongoing. I want to research more herbs. I want to partner with more research centers. I want to work with Professor Famuyiwa and OU University. All of that requires a lot of capital. I want to do a lot more things. I think that this is something that can become very big. But then again,
I love that. And we can work together. Especially with that documentary.
Yes, absolutely. I'll be looking forward to that.
Together. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, amazing so ladies. That's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Do have a lovely rest of the day. Bye-bye now. Thank you.